Yo, welcome back to the GM Podcast. I'm Miller.
I'm Gav, and I got my mans here, Xavier Carey and Nigel from Lee's McCrae. So yeah,
it's an honor.
All right, so we got this today. We got the iPad. I bought this with my own money, and we're gonna get straight into it. Let's go.
Wow, we got. All right, go ahead. Let's go.
All right.
Every time somebody lie, I'm gonna take a sip of my water.
All right. First question. This is a very interesting one. I don't know where we're going with this one.
Yeah, I put it on the script.
Should LeBron get a statue in all three organizations he played with? I want to know your opinion first.
Mine.
Yes.
I think there's no question. There's no question.
He should?
No question in my mind.
What is... All right. Why does he get one for the Lakers?
That's the hardest championship ever.
Whoa.
When you hear players talking about
He played
the bubble,
Jimmy Butler in the finals.
when you hear players talk about the bubble,
Yeah.
the people who lost, they said that was the hardest thing they had to go through in the NBA so far.
Bro, it was a resort, bro.
Yeah, they were in Disney World.
They were in Orlando.
Disney World.
I don't know. I think... So, he broke the scoring record there. The all-time scoring record in LA.
And he scored 40,000.
He has a ring. All right, what if he wins a ring this year? Does he deserve it then?
Bro, he already deserves it.
In LA?
Yes. He has a ring. He broke a scoring title, and it's LeBron James. You think they're not going to put a statue outside of that arena for LeBron James?
All right, will Miami do it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 rings.
Yes. Cleveland, of course. He brought
has to do it.
Yeah,
There's no
I'm
choice.
not gonna lie. Wait. But the real question is, what poses?
So, all right. So, LA. Now, that's a great question. So, LA has to be...
It has to be the shot.
Yeah, it has to be the shot to break the scoring record,
Over
right?
Jalen Williams.
Man, nah, that's
Then what does it be? What would it be? There's nothing else you could think of.
I think it does.
Yeah, there's nothing else you could think of.
Does it have to be, bro?
Yeah, I think so.
It could be a random
There's no...
poster.
All right.
That's over my thumb.
It don't have to be that, but there's not a better answer.
He won a chip there. You go to the bubble, find a
Yeah, but
picture.
who
right?
remembers any
You
buckets?
could do
except
some
for-
random picture from the bubble.
You could, but
You could.
So what would be the Heat?
Or him and Bronny.
no. But you got. You know when you put a statue up, it has to say something like in the
What would it say?
engraved.
What would it say?
I think it should just be the shots.
Miami got to be...
LeBron breaks the scoring record.
It got to be one of his time out, like his...
It's got to be over Jason Terry.
They're not going to put Jason Terry.
What if they do like a D-Wade one? Like they add D-Wade like another statue? Because
No,
the
he already
first one
has
was
it.
ass already. So if they do it again, they could do the lob picture.
So you just gonna leave out Chris Bosh?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
could. No disrespect, Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh a legend, but you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And what about Cleveland?
Cleveland has to be when he was on the floor in the finals.
What are you talking about?
Remember when he was on the floor, patting the ground, because he just won?
Oh, when he was on his knees.
So you gonna make a statue of him laying on the ground? Wow.
Come on.
Nah,
that's
a
not a
great
good
picture.
statue. A statue has to stand tall, bro. Nobody's gonna be able to see that unless you walk up to it. It might have to be like. It might have to be
I
like.
ain't gonna lie, one of them got to be the...
I was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
Oh,
Him
yeah,
throwing
that
it.
is true.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
That's gonna be.
It might
It's gotta
have to
be
be one of those.
Yeah. All right.
All three locations.
Yeah,
Final
I
answer.
didn't think there was a question there, but we can move on.
Wait. But like, before we finish, is there any players that y'all want to bring up like that don't deserve? Because like obviously LeBron, okay, cool, we agree. But is there certain players that don't deserve a jersey retirement, or whether it's a statue? Like, is there certain players that they've received these? I don't know what you want to call them, and you're just like, yeah, they don't deserve.
The first person that comes to mind, just because I be hating, Rudy Gobert deserves no accolades after his
I'm
career.
saying someone who has one.
I'm thinking more Derrick Rose, I'm not going to lie.
Derrick Rose. Why Derrick Rose?
I'm so serious.
Why Derrick Rose? You think he don't deserve nothing?
Nothing.
bro, come on, bro. He has an MVP.
First of all, LeBron had better stats for that MVP. So I'm just...
Who's your MVP this year?
I'll take Shea.
See, that's different.
You're contradicting yourself. Jokic has better stats.
Oh, we doing that?
Yeah,
We're doing that.
You're contradicting yourself. That's what I'm saying. Why does D Rose not deserve it?
He can have the MVP.
But
I just don't think he's won anything.
I mean, that's true. I don't know if he deserves a statue. Like,
No.
But jersey retired.
oh, whoa, jersey retired is crazy though. You got it.
For what?
He's the youngest MVP.
It's
Youngest MVP
D-Rose.
ever.
Like D Rose, regardless of what he did in the league, like he got to be one of the most iconic guards.
I mean, he brought the Bulls
He had
back
a cool-
to life
he
for
had
the
a
first
cool-
time since Michael
He had
Jordan.
a cool 2 years, and then he was ass. He was terrible.
Let's not say terrible.
talking about
Did he not hit a game winner against Bron?
Yeah.
And then did he win the series?
Bro, this was like 2015. This
But
is
what did
4
Braun do the
years
next? What did
after-
Braun do the next game?
Don't worry about that, bro. Don't worry about that.
But
We
I
know
mean,
LeBron agree.
but like, yeah, LeBron, they can both have their jersey retired this month. Like,
I just don't think he deserves it though. No, honestly.
Do you have a player?
does Nick Collison have it?
Nick Collison does have his jersey retired.
That's
Nick Collison is a Thunder legend.
no,
No, that's
Legend for
cap.
what?
that's bad.
For us being ass, and he was the only
Does he
one that
really
stuck
have
around
it?
while we were.
Yes.
That's got to be
That's
cap.
you can look it up.
For
No,
Swear-
he doesn't need it.
Oh,
I'm saying he
Nick
has
Collison?
it though.
yeah, no.
Nobody remembers him.
Pretty good on
Nobody
2K.
used him in 2K.
What was he, number 4?
Nobody did that.
Number 4, yeah.
Yeah. He has it.
So no one. So if Shea was like, "Yo, I want to wear number 4," they would tell him no.
He would have to like ask Nick Collison, "Can I wear this number?" That's crazy.
That is
right?
wild. That is wild.
Bro,
Nah, that's crazy work.
Nick Collison.
And 4 is a hard number too. Like
Yeah.
that's not just
Yeah.
no number that.
Little intermission.
I'm about to start raining.
But do y'all like the number 6 being retired throughout the whole NBA?
For Bill,
Yeah.
no, I don't like that.
Except for Bill Russell.
I don't like that, bro.
Wait.
I don't.
So I was just about to ask that. So what is LeBron's jersey gonna be retired as?
Like, why don't you just retire a headband? LeBron's.
I said that.
I
I said retire his headband. Like retire. No one in the NBA can wear a
Can't
headband.
wear a headband.
Nah.
Bro,
That's glazing.
Bro, you retired
real.
Bill Russell, who had, bro, do you not know the impact that LeBron has on meme culture? That's way higher than anything Bill Russell has ever
Yeah,
done.
nah, that's
and if you
true.
gonna retire a jersey across the league, a headband, bro, like, just don't wear a headband no
Subtle.
more.
What if someone
No, I'd
has?
be trash if Janai Broom couldn't wear a headband, though.
Yo, he. Yeah, that
He's
would,
hideous.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I guess what 23 with the because you know the Heat already retired Jordan's number.
What?
The Heat.
He never wore
The
it.
Heat retired Jordan's number.
But he didn't wear 23.
What you mean?
He wore 6.
Oh, with the Heat, yeah. But I'm saying like so. I
Wait,
don't know.
Michael Jordan?
Yes, the Miami Heat retired Michael Jordan's number. I know. He never
I don't
played.
think they even
I
had
know
a
that.
series
That's
against him.
insane.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
But we can move on.
All right, so I want to ask you guys, this just happened this week. What is your reaction to Mike Malone getting fired from the Nuggets 3 games before the playoffs?
Hey, I don't like it, but I heard Nate Oates is about to get the job. Roll Tide!
Nah, I'll just. Dang.
He is a candidate.
That'll be fire, though.
But I mean, they can
Yeah.
still make it far with Coach Jokic, so.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm interested to see. So Russell Westbrook's minutes dropped in the first game, and that might help them. His minutes
At the
dropped.
end.
Did you see that? They were saying that Malone was giving him like special treatment or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So
They were
people
playing-
obviously had like
Everyone on the
frustrations
team,
with
yeah.
Westbrook.
Especially, I think one of the names was Julian Pickett. Like when the backup
Yeah.
point guards was like,
Yeah.
he felt some type of way about it. He played some more with the assistant coach. rather
Yeah,
than
I don't
with
want to.
him.
I don't want to overrate a game against the Kings, though.
No.
I ain't gonna lie.
I'm just saying, like, is this gonna be the new trend? Like Russell Westbrook don't play as much.
Yeah.
I'm not saying give them credit for winning. I'm saying is this going?
I think if he don't play that much, they're still going. They will lose in the same position they will lose anyway. They're going to lose first round this year, regardless of who they play.
You
In
think?
my opinion, yeah. Like they can play Houston guards.
Yeah.
Like they can't.
They will give Jamal coming off an injury problem.
exact and Jamal. Would be great in that series.
They got to get beat early because if it goes later in the series to 6 or 7, that's when I start to take
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
best player in the series in the you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like if it's a game 7, I've always
But what-
my
Got
formula is I take LeBron. I
What
take,
team would you
yeah.
favor the Nuggets against?
What team?
Yeah,
Like I would
Rockets.
favorite.
I would favor them over the Rockets.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like
I mean that's fair.
yeah.
Just
I'm not
'cause
gonna lie. I would favor them
they're
over the Timberwolves.
Yeah, you're insane.
nah.
You're insane.
Nah, I
You're
really would.
insane.
Randall
Did you just
sucks.
watch yesterday?
Yeah, I don't, bro. I can't trust Randall, bro.
Bro, you cannot, bro. I can't trust Jamal Murray after the season. He's just after what he's been
But
doing.
in the
lately.
playoffs, what we've seen with Jamal time
Bro,
and
his
time and time
hamstring
and
is
time and
bro
time again.
against those. What did he do against Minnesota last year?
He only plays good against the Lakers.
Like Minnesota had him in jail, and they're bet.
Nah, they most
you could
definitely
argue-
did.
Nah, they did, but that series still could have like it wasn't like
could've-
Minnesota just killed them. Like, nah, that series definitely could have went either way. And I think the Timberwolves are worse. Nah,
Nah, because as
The
the
Nuggets
and
are
is
worse.
developed
And has
into a better
developed.
player.
But I hate their spacing.
The team is
like
worse.
Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle front court is.
Yeah.
Bro, Julius Randle's playing good basketball though.
And Jaden McDaniels.
He is, but like he was on the Knicks too.
I don't like
Yeah,
it, man.
I don't know. I just don't want to underrate some of the guys that's like having good regular seasons just because they've had bad postseasons. Because I mean, Jimmy Butler right now is probably playing worse than he ever has in his career, not being aggressive at all.
Yeah.
And people think he's just gonna hop into the playoffs and be playoff Jimmy. And I mean, I think that's why you think the Warriors are gonna win a
And I think
championship.
he will do that because I mean he's averaged 15 in this league, and all of a sudden he gets in the playoffs.
But I don't think it's the same. I think with the Heat, he was actually getting buckets regardless of regular season. Like he was still getting buckets. With the Warriors right now, he's not shooting the ball. He's not being aggressive. He's really on some like I'm trying to feed my teammates.
Yeah.
And that's cool. But last year you didn't make a big playoff stretch. You were injured. This year, I mean, you left the franchise that only cared about you, and you got them to 2 finals. They respected you, and you ran your way out of there. So I know that we was talking about the Nuggets, but I don't know. I feel like these regular seasons we do have to pay attention to because
we do. But I think the one person I'll give a pass to is Jimmy Butler because time and time again he's had a
you're right.
mediocre regular season and then comes in the playoffs
Most
and
definitely.
beats Giannis.
Well, he ain't been this bad though.
He hasn't been this bad,
But
but
he
he's
didn't play
also
with
playing.
Curry.
That was also
Yeah,
he didn't
he's
play with
playing with
Curry.
Curry, so like
Yeah.
he doesn't have
He's
to.
not the first option no more.
Honestly, all they need Jimmy to do is close.
Okay.
They don't need him to give you 30 across the entire playoff game. Like Kuminga's developed and he's going to step up. Curry is, he's the greatest point guard ever. You have all of these pieces now. You have Moody, you have Pods that can hit shots. All you need Jimmy Butler is 2 minutes to go. Yo, give him the ball. Because that's where Curry struggles.
Yeah.
Because in the late game, you can't just rely on jump shots late in the game. You got to be able to get
Good
score
looks.
at 3 levels. So
So do y'all think the Warriors are favorites in the West right now?
Nah.
Wait.
I don't know. Nah, I don't know about.
We
No, the last episode you said the Warriors were the favorites in the West.
Nah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
You flip.
It's so matchup based.
No, it
And I can literally give you an answer the moment the standings are
That's very true.
finalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Warriors would beat the Lakers because the Lakers just can't guard them. Like it's almost like
Yeah.
I've said with the Celtics. I'd rather, as a Celtics fan, I feel way more confident against, even though I think they're better, against the Lakers than the Thunder because I know the Thunder are 1 through 5. We can't pick on somebody.
Yeah.
While with the Lakers, like we just won a finals because we picked on Luka every single possession.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say right now it's between the Warriors and the Lakers for me personally.
Favorites in the West?
Yeah, for me
same,
personally.
same.
Yeah.
Same.
Who you got
Give me the Thunder.
Thank you.
I
to
don't,
make it out the West?
yeah,
Yes.
I don't want to see them against LeBron, though. I'm not going to lie.
And I ain't gonna lie, that's the worst matchup for them, but I couldn't see them losing to anybody else. I can't see the
I
Thunder
don't
losing.
want to see
That's
I
fair as
can- I can
well.
see
It's
the
going to go
Warriors.
to 7
That's
and
fair
they're
as well.
going to lose.
That's
like,
fair as well. You talking about the Lakers are the only team that can beat the Thunder? I agree,
And I think the Clippers
but I think they would.
I think the Clippers too. They could
the
beat-
Clippers are a
They
team
could beat the
that
Thunder.
Clippers
can
could
really
be
give
solid.
every single other team in the West problems.
But what are the Clippers now? They moved up to like 5,
Yeah, they're 5 right now.
so they won't play the Thunder.
They will be on the same side of the bracket, yeah.
Okay,
Like, not first
Kawhi's
round.
gonna be hurt by the second round.
Bro, don't speak that into existence, bro.
I mean,
know,
I hope not. But like,
I know, but
Kawhi hooping right now.
and
too.
Zubac,
when was the last time
Zubac.
Kawhi was healthy?
he'll give Lakers problems.
Right,
He will
right,
give the
right.
Lakers problems, extreme problems. Like
Oh no, I'm
Yeah,
not.
for sure.
The Clippers not beating the Lakers. Have you seen Luka versus the Clippers in the
no,
playoffs?
you're right.
Luka owns the Clippers.
Yeah, I don't. Man, I think the Clippers can make some noise. Like I think if the Clippers and Warriors played in the playoff series, give me the Clippers. Give me the Clippers.
See, that's like.
And you got playoff Harden though.
And Norman Powell been hooping.
Norman Powell.
But then it's like,
Bogdanovich,
yeah.
big time shooter.
Nah, they got some pieces. They got some
Yeah.
dogs.
But then it's just LeBron and Luka. Like,
yeah,
it is. It
And
is.
Austin Reeves.
Like, that's just OD. I'm
Reeves
like, we don't
is the
even
best
have
third
to bring
option
them
in the
up.
league.
That's
For sure.
two people that's just
That's why.
like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like as
They
far
could go
as
win a
offensively
game
scoring, like
2-on-5.
Reeves,
Yeah.
He might be the best third option ever.
Um, Mind
Harden?
you,
Harden was it?
Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie were on one
they were all the
team.
same team.
They were all on one team.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Why? Why does it not count?
count.
That doesn't count.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
Injured team. That was an injured team.
What does it mean?
Oh, so you're saying like if they
Lakers ain't
finish
did
and do,
nothing yet, though.
all right, you could say like he might be the best third option on the team that like wins it all or something like that. But you got to think like Drew Holiday last year was great.
But then this year he's terrible.
Drew Holiday,
He's still. I I think he's better still than Austin Reeves. I just think he's not putting it in the basket like Austin Reeves. Like Austin Reeves.
I mean, he's 34 years old. You're not really you see certain players, they're focused towards, and it's not that Drew Holiday's not focused in the regular season, but you've seen every single Celtics player sacrifice their statistical numbers. Like Drew Holiday, if you really watch him play, he will literally give up a wide open layup for a three.
Nah, yeah.
Like I have a layup, I'll kick it for a 3-pointer. Like
But now teams are just leaving him open.
And come playoff time, he'll have
you can't live with that.
Come playoff time, he'll have a 15 to 20 point game performance in a crucial game for the Celtics. I do believe that. I truly do.
Yeah, but Drew Holiday doesn't foul bait, so.
Yeah.
AR-15, man.
Nah, he's nice.
Nah, he is.
He's
and
nice.
offensively, he's definitely the best in the league as a third option.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
If Chet takes his jump, hopefully. I want to see that.
Hopefully, but yeah.
By next year, he should be able to take that jump, I feel like.
Maybe. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who do y'all have for y'all Eastern Conference Finals, by the way? What two teams do y'all? Because I don't really want to talk about the whole East because it's kind of, it's not on the same level.
The conference finals, I mean, obviously Boston and then
Cleveland.
You think Cleveland? I think Cleveland is not complete frauds, so I think it'll be Boston and Cleveland.
But you think Boston will wax Cleveland in the series, though, is what is getting to.
I don't think we'll be tripping. Like, I think it could go to 6, but it's not a 6 that you sweat because, like I said, the Celtics are not like some of these other teams where they play their numbers and statistics are pretty much the same every night. Like, we're trying to get up the most threes possible.
Yeah.
So we're going to have an off night. That's why I was telling people last year when we lost in the first round to
Orlando.
We played Miami in the first round or something, or Atlanta. I forgot. But no, second round. Second round, we lost to Cleveland.
Yeah.
In game 1 or game 2, one of them. And I'm like, we shot terrible from 3. Like, we literally shot terrible. You saw game 4, we played the Mavericks. We got beat by like 30 or 40. Like, we're going to have 1 to 2 games in every series where we shoot terrible because we're getting up 60, 53s, whatever.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have an off night. So we might go to 6 with Cleveland because 1 or 2 games, one game they outplayed us, one game we just shot terrible. But I don't think for 7 games they can, or I don't think for 4 games out of 7 they can outshoot us.
I'm not gonna lie, I got the Bucks.
Is Dame gonna come back?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I would still have and I know a lot of people are gonna say Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they'll be able to lock up. Bro, I think Giannis could legitimately dominate that entire series. Like, I think the Cavs, they're cute. They're a very cute ass team. Donovan Mitchell, okay.
I ain't gonna lie. I like how Donovan Mitchell plays in the playoffs too.
Yeah, and he's a gamer for sure. But even then, they don't have a 1A like Giannis. And I'm not saying that.
It matters.
Let's remember, Giannis did not play in these past 2 playoff series. Yeah, that is the reason why they lost. But maybe not the Heat, because the Heat, they're elite with Jimmy Butler. But as far as last year, they could have made a run. They would have played. Who the Pacers played in the second round last year?
The Pacers.
Knicks? Yeah, they would have beat the Knicks. I think they would have beat the Knicks. So I think the Bucks aren't too far off, and if the Bucks are 6-0 this month, in the month of April, they're 6-0. They're hot right now. I feel like they can really heat up. And Giannis, man, this is honestly for his legacy because he's only getting older. And as injury prone as he's been, we don't know if he's going to be able to make another playoff stretch. We don't know if the GM is going to be able to surround him with a roster that is capable of getting anywhere, especially against Boston, who still got some young guys. So that's what I worry about.
My thing I worry about with the Bucks is, especially when you traded Middleton, I don't know who the Bucks closer is because you can't have someone who doesn't make free throws at a high clip and someone who can't shoot as a closer. And we saw in the Bucks playoff run, Giannis was the best player by far on the team, but the closer was Chris Middleton. Yeah. So who's your closer? Like Kuzma. You know what I mean? And Dame is a great closer. Yeah. Damian Lillard is a good closer.
Is there a chance he'll be back, or is he done for the season?
He might be done.
He might. I mean, I don't know if it's the exact same. I know Wemby's like a deep vein thrombosis or something like that, but I know they both have
big work right there.
Yeah, like I know that he has a blood clot, and like that's not something to play with. I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge's career ended because of that, I think. Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh is ended because of that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but if Dame comes back, then yeah. But I just don't know if they'll come back. But yeah, I would definitely take Dame and Giannis over Cleveland. The Cavs, just because I don't know who the Cavs. I don't think they have a 1A. Like, I think Donovan Mitchell he could be the second best player in the championship team, but he can't be the best player in the championship team.
I agree with that. So. All right. I think you had a question to ask about some clothes, bro.
Yeah. Little fashion question here, away from sports. When y'all are making y'all's fits, like your outfit, and you're picking out your outfit. Let's say you're going out, out in public to an event that you want to dress nice at. What do you pick? What do you start your fit off with? Like, you start off with pants. Do you pick it out like, okay, that's a hoodie I like, I'm gonna build my fit from there and build it around that hoodie, or does it just like depend?
All right, so first of all, it might depend. It depends on if I just got a new piece of clothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because whatever's new, I'll just grab that. But
yeah, and then build around that.
Yeah, but if I don't have anything new, most of the time I'll start with shoes. Yeah, most of the time.
What about you, Zay?
I like to start off with the top.
Yeah,
nice
same.
And simple, yeah.
Same. I like when I was, putting fits together, posting on Instagram a lot, like in the past year. I feel like I always start off with like a hoodie or a long sleeve or a double layer, just something like that. And then from there, like everything was pretty plain after that. Like Forces, Timbs, like that's just me. Yeah. That was my style. So like the only thing that stuck out was my top, my hoodie, my long sleeve, t-shirt, whatever. Everything else was pretty basic at that. So I always started with the top.
I ain't gonna lie, I think whatever is newest is at the top of my list, so it don't really matter what it is. But the pants, bro, because with my thing is the pants are low key the hardest thing to find. I feel like it's easier to find a hard shirt, some tough shoes, than it is to get the right pants.
For sure.
Which is why, like, if you get the right pants, I feel like you could build off pants easier than any other accessory you got. Maybe shoes too.
Yeah.
Shoes, you could put a whole fit together with that. But if you get the right pants, bro, I'm telling you, like, I feel like that's the way to go.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think I do always find myself like, I do start with the top, like I said, like I'll find a tough hoodie, and then I'll be like, oh, I'll just wear Forces with that, or because that's where my mind goes second. Like, all right, what shoes would I wear this hoodie? And then from there, it's just like, all right, I know exactly what type of pants, but sometimes it just be hard to find that exact online, especially. So, but yeah.
All right, so I got a question for all three of y'all. Obviously, I go to the same college playing basketball there. So, what was the biggest adjustment for each of you basketball-wise on and off the court going from high school to college? Let me start with you, Zay.
I think we should start with Gavin.
Let's start with Gavin.
You start with me? I think the hardest thing for me was confidence. I'm not gonna lie. It was having confidence. I came into 10 seniors. Yeah, I came into a team with 10 seniors pretty much ready to roll. So it wasn't too much of them fitting into me. It was more like I'm thrown in this environment and I gotta fit in. So I think the biggest thing for me was confidence. I came in my freshman year shooting the ball terribly, like, and just coming in like 3-point lines farther back. And in high school, I was a shooter. So it really just knocked my confidence. So that was the biggest adjustment, getting my confidence and, having people in my ear. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Nigel helped me a lot with like just little stuff like you belong here, like just little stuff like that. But that was the biggest adjustment for me because everything else wasn't too bad. I think it was just fitting into, just like it is going from middle school to high school. Like the game's faster or whatever, just little stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing was like you have to walk into any environment. Like, and this doesn't just go with basketball, it goes with life. Like if you're going into a new job or whatever, like you got to go into that environment with confidence and belief and faith in yourself that like, oh, I'm good. Like I'm gonna make it here. Like, and I didn't have that at the time. Like I was second guessing like, am I good enough to whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that was the biggest adjustment for me personally. But we can just go this way. Go ahead.
We're gonna have to skip me, go to Zay. I gotta think of a PR answer.
Why we gotta think of a PR answer? His family friendly, but I mean.
Oh yeah, because I could go many different ways with this one. Go ahead, Xavier.
I think it's more for me. It was like realizing like everyone can hoop. Yeah. Like in high school, in prep, it's always something you can go at. It's always a weak link. And then in college, really there's no weak links. Yeah. You got to like work harder every day. You got to work harder than everyone you can.
Yeah. No, that's real.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll go. Hardest thing for me. So I'm not gonna lie. Coming into my freshman year, I was on top of the world. Like,
Yeah, you were.
nobody could tell me anything. I was just that confident in my game, and it showed. Like, the only thing, I just wasn't upperclassman. Like Gav said, we coming in with 10 seniors already. So I was kind of overshadowed just by the experience part of it. So while preseason, this is happening, it's like, yeah, but he don't got no game experience. Is it going to happen in the game? So I guess, like, and it really kind of felt like that whole preseason, I just didn't show that I was trustworthy. And it just, later in the year, it just showed that they were just going to roll with age.
Right.
So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
It took me a while to, like, understand that and to accept it for what it was.
Swallow that pill.
Yeah. Probably around like December, like the end of December, start of January is when I just accepted it for what it is. Like, all right, cool. The older guys are going to play. I just got to, if I do get to play, I just got to make the best of it. I can't complain about how long I played, but I got to just try to do the best that I can. And I did feel like every time I did get in that game for however long I did play for, I made the best of it. So at the end of the day, I can't sit here and cry about stuff that I can't control.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's real.
So let me ask y'all something then. And do y'all have problems with coaches? And say if y'all were a coach in the future, do y'all have problems with coaches who prioritize experience over skill and what actually they think will win them basketball games?
I think on a team you have to have balance. So when I see all of these teams, just the teams in March Madness, I don't think it's and honestly, I think one team that had a perfect balance, and they usually don't, is Duke.
Yeah.
People don't like to talk about the Malik Browns, I can't even think of
Mason
I'm sorry.
Gillis.
You said who?
The Mason Gillis.
Duke. Mason Gillis from
Giving
Purdue.
Duke props.
Yeah.
Sion James.
All of those players, like, yes, Cooper Flag, cool, Conconable, cool. Those are the reasons you win games, because of players like that.
Yeah.
And
And
to
lose.
be honest, like, Malowach, when it came the most important, like, one of your freshmen let you down. So I think, I feel like the best teams that I like have a lot of experience, and then, like, one or two young dudes that just, like, are killers that are NBA bound. I don't like the whole 5 freshman lineup, like, nothing like that. Yeah. But I do think there's nothing wrong with having 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, like, older guys, but then, like, certain guys on your roster that are young that, like, I have to play him because he's just, like, in practice or just watching him play, he's just the best on the court.
Yeah.
So I do think you have to have a balance. I think even if your best players are 5 freshmen, I wouldn't just play 5 freshmen because
that makes sense.
Come March or come playoff time or come the last 4 minutes of a game, the last media, we know, like, it ain't just the 5 most talented players. There's a certain combination you need in that after that last media timeout to win you a game.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is what players can the coach give a player information, and what players can retain that information the best. Those are the type of players that are going to be on the court in the last media, not just who can give you 20. Like, that can be done.
How do you feel about Florida having no freshmen?
I loved it. I mean, it worked perfectly, and I think the new recruiting way in college basketball is going to be go after all the 3 stars and 4 stars, whether even in high school, knowing that they're not.
You mean like the guys that are gonna stay because they are 3 and 4 stars?
And I think you saw that a lot on UConn's back-to-back run.
Yeah.
You didn't have a lot of 4 stars, 5 stars. I mean, the one and done was Stephon Castle.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can think of, at least. Everyone else was former 3 stars, former 4 stars, former 2 stars that stayed and developed, or former 3 stars and 4 stars in other programs that developed there and are finally ready to play that can be, UConn or, the Walter Clayton Juniors or whatever. So I think that's going to be the new recruiting wave. Now, obviously, if you have a Cooper Flag, AJ DeBanza, Darren Peterson, go after that player.
Yeah.
But the 5-star who's ranked 15th, who's still going to go one and done, but, like, he's not really going to win you games. Like, I hate to say it, I don't even want to, like, no, I don't know if I want to even call out names, but like,
I could call out a name you was just saying. I think Slim was ranked around 15 last year.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to see him get more minutes throughout the season.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, and I kind of disagree with you in the fact that a lot of the time when you recruit these guys, you recruit them for a reason. You recruit them with an expectation. And I know with all of you guys, y'all automatically thought y'all were going to be great as a freshman.
yeah.
For great reason.
Yeah.
Right? For great reason.
Because like, you just don't know any better. Like, I think I'm going to D2. I'm going to go and I'm going to play.
But my thing is, watching y'all play, y'all probably were better than. Let me not do that.
Right.
But y'all were probably better than some guys, and a lot of freshmen are probably better than some guys. So let me just say with Isaiah Evans,
right.
would it not have been better to sacrifice some losses, maybe one or two great losses at the beginning of the season, to get a guy involved in your system that could really hit shots and that increases your ceiling tremendously? And Slim played great defense when he was in the game. So I do think there is issues with some coaches playing it safe rather than rolling the dice and seeing what you have. Because I'm not going to lie, I feel like after 2 years and you're not seeing anything, I'm not saying like they're not going to develop, but like let's start taking the signs though. Like let's start seeing this. When we see Tyrese Proctor in the last couple of years miss big shots, and I know you're a Duke guy, but he's missed big shots in a lot of big situations. In this tournament, he was great. So you have to ride with him.
He won them the ACC championship.
Exactly. Like you have to ride with him. But at the same time, you got a guy that dropped 64 in a state playoff game, and you don't get him into your system. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
I get what you're saying. I think there's different ways they could have implemented Slim into the lineup, and honestly, I think it's impressive that it didn't kill his confidence. That he was able to come in randomly. I mean, I don't know, like,
how do we know it did it?
Against Auburn.
How do we know it did it though?
I mean, I'm not saying it might have killed his confidence a little bit, but it didn't kill his confidence to the point where he was able to go kill against Auburn.
Yeah.
Randomly. Yeah. Like, just out of nowhere. Yeah. So, and that should tell you all you need to know is Coach John Shire, like, and honestly, I think he did start to play Slim more and more at ACC tournament. Early in the March Madness tournament, but then when everything hits the fan and
once you got the best defense in the country guarding you, you need tough shots.
And pressure hits the fans, as a coach, you could say John Shire kind of, froze up a little bit.
Exactly.
He
shrunk the rotation.
Patrick Gongba, who was playing extremely hot. Like, he played great basketball when I watched him from the ACC tournament against Baylor, against all these teams. He played great basketball. Like, he was a great paint presence, played his role perfectly. Looked like a veteran, honestly, as a freshman. All of a sudden, like, I'm going to just go to Malik Brown, who, he's a senior, but he hasn't played all.
He's a sophomore.
He was a junior.
No, he's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore?
Nah, he's a junior. He's going to his senior year, I promise.
I thought he was a sophomore. I did think he was a sophomore.
He's going into his junior year.
Malik Brown?
Played 1 year at Syracuse.
He's going to be freaking good,
You guys are looking at the wrong guy, though. As a Duke fan, you have to look at Caleb Foster.
As in why he wasn't on the court.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's what I was looking. No, I was about to name a list of things. Caleb Foster should have been on the court. He's a point guard. Slim, you put him in for one little stretch and then he doesn't play the rest of the game.
That's crazy.
It just shows that you could say, I don't know like what his strategy was, but he might have panicked because multiple times the round before the ACC tournament, Slim came in and got another shot.
Yeah.
Because I can say with the body of work that he put up, if you give him another shot, he's going to go in and hit a three.
Yeah.
Like, he played good enough. Like, he showed me that he played good enough.
No, I most definitely think there's a time and a place.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, like, my freshman year, and I'm not just saying it's just because it was me, but I feel like if I can feel it I was 19 as a freshman, like, if I can feel it, like, in the game, we have a comfortable hump of a cushion, like it's like 8 points.
Yeah.
They can't get over the 8 margin in the first half. Why not? Like, why not? Let's just throw our freshman in there and see, like, let's see how he acts. I'm not saying you throw me in when it's win or go home, 4 minutes left in the game. Yeah. No, but, like, I feel like there is times and a place for times you could just throw him in just to see how he acts.
Yeah.
Like, or even if he does
that's a great point.
You could just throw him in there he'll get the experience. Like, Because there was a lot of experience I had my sophomore year that I never had as a freshman.
Yeah.
I was playing small spurts, go in and come out. Like,
Yeah.
so I didn't really feel like the real pressure of a basketball game, really. Like,
No.
because I knew I was going to be in there from that 8-minute media to the 4-minute media in the first half. And you know, during the first half, you can really do anything, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
It's up and down.
Yeah.
It's not-
like, it's not the same game in the second half, under 10, or like, you know?
Yeah, no, for
But-
sure. And I think, like you just said, like there's a time and a place. Duke, you played in a weak ACC. You can pick out.
Most definitely.
There's certain games that you could have. All right, I'm gonna give him a 4 to 8 minute stretch here
Yeah.
instead of. Nah, I'm gonna just wait to blow him out and play him when we're up
Yeah,
4.
yeah,
that's
Like,
crazy.
that does
I
nothing.
watched every game. They would literally wait till they're up at least 20 to put them in the game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like do you really think that low of him that he's gonna blow the game? Come on, like you're telling me if you swap Proctor and Slim, like, and I'm not gonna lie at this point, like I'm not saying you try to lose games, but shoot, if you're playing against a Clemson or you're playing against Louisville, why not try something?
I mean, if you
Like-
already won some big time
Especially in the
games,
regular season.
which
the
they
better
had,
teams.
they
No, I
won-
know that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
who'd they beat earlier in the season? They beat
beat Auburn.
They beat
Auburn.
Arizona too.
So
Maybe
you
Auburn
already,
because
you
of
already
Slim.
have
Yeah,
big time
literally.
wins. A loss like that, like a floor like that, that's not gonna hurt you.
No.
Put your guys in that need to develop and that are gonna make shots, and that's my thing. And I do think coaches are extremely safe when it comes to that, because I mean you guys have probably been on the bench, y'all watching the game, y'all watching the guy that's in front of you, and it's like, yo, bro, what the hell are they doing? Like,
Yeah,
I can't get 4 minutes right here to prove why I should, like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Can't come in and guard to do this and just
point,
like, because it's like, especially, I don't know. I think after Slim had what do you have 4 threes in the first half against Auburn, something like
I
that?
thought he had like 6.
I think he had 6.
Yeah, he might have. He might have. My point is that should tell you enough. I'm playing the best team.
That's my bro, come on, bro.
until like a week before the SEC tournament started, Auburn was the best team the whole year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you did it against the best team in the country, who guards like they're known for. Auburn is known for defense. Why do you not trust him against Clemson?
And why go away from him in the second half against Auburn?
Exactly.
That's very true. Yes.
Go away from
And
him.
why not let him put the ball on the ground once or twice? Like the whole year, this is like, why are we only letting him catch and shoot?
Yeah, coming off
At
stack.
a certain point, bro, I'm thinking like, the reason why basketball gets talked about in like a lower level today is because like, where are the one-on-one mid-post matchups to where we're making teams don't like to do that, but there are certain individuals with talents that could take advantage of matchups like that. If you have a guy that's 6'8", that has a mid-post game, that can do turnaround jumpers, that can make reads off of a blitz if that happens, then that should be the move that you do. If Isaiah Evans, if you want to try just one game, give him a touch to where it's mid-post, see how that works. And I know in college it's more threes and open layups and stuff like that. But I think coaches get lazy in their approach to game plans and their approach to putting their players in the game.
And you have to, as the best teams have multiple ways they can win. And I'm not saying
exactly.
Duke did have multiple ways they can win, but I think that could have been a completely
I
other
mean, let's be
element.
real though. They didn't have no like shot make. Like they really didn't have no shot elite
They didn't
shot
have
maker.
they didn't have elite isolation players other than Cooper Flag.
Yeah,
they had
exactly.
shot makers, but catch and shoot.
And
like,
even on the Caleb Foster point, Caleb Foster has had, I feel like, higher highs than Sion James had.
I mean,
so why not
it's
try to
more
bring him
just
up?
he's a point guard. In the final media, I want Caleb Foster to be running my team, knowing that he might not take a jump shot, but he's going to win us the game.
And who did he light up last year? I know y'all remember that game.
I mean,
he
he had
had like
multiple games.
I think it might have been.
It might have been early against when they had to. It was either Kansas, Michigan State, or Kentucky.
I think it was Kentucky.
Okay,
I think he lit up Kentucky last year, and he got injured. And this year is just once again, bro.
You know, he started early, and then Sion James kind of like
he did start early.
Yeah, so and I'm not saying that you can even play Sion James the whole game.
I would play Sion James. I would bench Tyrese Proctor in the last 2 minutes. He
Yeah, like there's certain players. There's certain players that just
69.
are closers.
Yeah.
Like Caleb Foster, I don't remember what game it was. It might have been ACC tournament.
It was against UNC.
Yeah.
Was it UNC they only played the Final Four? No, he played. No. It might have been Louisville. There was a game I remember towards the end of the season though. Caleb Foster literally didn't play the whole game. It was UNC.
It was UNC.
It was at
though.
UNC. It was before the tournament.
It was for
he
the,
just played the final media.
Yeah.
Maybe if you do that against Houston,
That's that fire.
Exactly.
like you just throw him in final media. Like that was impressive to me. First of all, that he was able to come in and handle that situation.
Yeah.
Because the final media, the game it's a literal different game. Like
Literally.
I'm not gonna lie, it's just coaching.
You gotta be perfect.
Yeah, like it's just the game slows down. Come down, set. Come down, set. Come down, set. There's no up and down running. Like you're coming down and you're running a set every single time, unless you get a steal or you're getting a transition. But most teams, most teams.
All right, so this week, Luka went back to Dallas for the first time in a Lakers uniform, and I really don't even have a question here. I just want to know kind of like an initial reaction of what you guys took from that situation.
Yeah, I think it was just impressive on the fact that like you go straight from crying. Like, imagine like think about like I don't know. I'm not a crier. I'm just like, but think about like the last time y'all really emotionally cried, and think about if 2 minutes later you were asked to do your job at the highest level. Like that's impressive.
I remember one time I got into like a car wreck before Nationals, before
real?
AU Nationals. And yeah, I did not play good. Let's just say that. I can say right now I couldn't do it. Like that's
he dropped
crazy.
31 in the first half, right?
Yeah, like it's 31.
Finish at 45.
That's
Yo,
insane.
I think he couldn't have handled
But I
it
will
either.
say this, and Gil, I
Yeah,
was
he
watching
could
the
have
Gilbert in his podcast, and he brought up a great point. The fact that Nico still does have his job makes me think that it wasn't his decision.
And I'm glad you said that. This had to be this. There's something fishy with this, bro.
Yes.
Like there is something fishy with this situation.
Because I feel like if Nico just pulled that trigger on his own, he would have got fired.
Yeah. Like
sure.
I think this was an NBA thing. Let's get a start at LA.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm with it. And if
I don't even know about that. It might be a new ownership thing. Because I know Mark Cuban was extremely.
Bro, if you're that cheap, bro, you need to be locked up. Like real stuff. I'm not a Mavs fan, and the Mavs beat us in the playoffs last year. But like it actually sickens me that they traded this man.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
It feels wrong.
I don't wish nothing bad amongst anybody, but like Nico literally deserves to be locked up if this was his decision. I'm not, bro. Like this is real tough.
He would have been
Bro,
there his whole career.
He would have been
Literally.
there. Thank you. He would have been there.
What did y'all see him slip up in his interview? Like he was like, "I get to like lay in my bed tonight," because you know he has a home in Dallas.
Right,
Like,
and that's not a slip up. That's real talk.
yeah,
But he don't got to deal with that. Dallas got to deal with that.
Yeah.
And the fans got to deal with that. And that's not on the fans. That's on one individual who thought they were bigger than basketball.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of these. I mean,
I just hate the notion of the fat and lazy. And if that's fat and lazy, I want to be fat and lazy,
bro. I think Legend of Winning said it best, bro. He could be smoking crack. He could literally do it, bro. If he's giving you 40, 10, and 10, take it, bro. You don't trade that away.
34.
And you know how I feel about Luka. Luka is one of my, honestly, as a basketball player, effort-wise, he's one of my least favorite players. I hate to watch him play defense, but I ain't gonna lie, Luka might be a top 5 offensive player of all time already. Like, there is nothing he cannot do. He controls the pace of every game.
And I haven't seen someone control the pace like this since, Jokic does it, but Jokic and LeBron.
Exactly.
Jokic and LeBron are the only 3 in my lifetime that I can say walk the ball up and just completely control the pace of the game every single time.
Yeah, I was a fan of the Mavericks trade.
I
liked AD to the Mavs.
I loved AD to the Mavs.
I liked AD to the Mavs. I don't really know how I felt about I wouldn't have gave up Luka, but I liked AD to the Mavs. But Kyrie got hurt, so now you look a little crazy.
And Clay's playing terrible. You look crazier.
Yeah,
Clay has to have, at this point in his career, he has to be like, I'm the shooter. I need stars around me that draw.
And you gave away the best distributor of the basketball.
That's true.
Yes.
And the Mavericks I think the Mavericks, when fully healthy, would be better than the Lakers. I really like. I think with Kyrie, AD, you have Gafford, Lively, that's the best front court in the entire NBA.
But bro, you have Luka and LeBron James.
No, I know that.
Like this is what we have to understand, bro. This is Luka Doncic, bro, and in his prime when he's 25 years old. And if we this is a big surprise that AD was injured for a long stretch. Oh man, Kyrie got injured. He's never got this is happened.
This is real life.
Kyrie and AD have injury history. It's not like they just
this wasn't out of nowhere type of thing.
And that's part of what makes the Boston Celtics so good. There's been playoff. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are just durable.
Absolutely.
They're just every single playoff run they're there. Giannis is better than both of them. I'm not gonna lie. When fully healthy, but Giannis has missed 2 straight playoffs, so Jason Tatum has been there. Like, that's an ability.
Absolutely.
That's the best ability.
Yeah, like, availability is the best ability. So, yeah, that was my initial reaction was like, what are we doing? I remember I called you like instantly in the middle of the night. We're on Marvel Rivals. I'm like, bro, let's play Marvel Rivals, but I got to tell you something. Luka just got traded. But,
bro.
Yeah,
and it's funny, like, I'm actually more mad, like, I'm more mad about it now than I was then.
Nah.
Like, just the fact that you literally gifted a franchise who was low-key going downhill.
Maybe.
Because with AD, nobody was saying the Lakers was going to the chip.
No.
I don't remember that.
No.
They weren't.
So, and now it's like,
Yeah.
OKC is the favorite, but they're not really the favorite. The Lakers, everybody is saying the Lakers are going to the chip.
Yes.
So, once again, I can't even, he needs to be locked up. Nico needs to be locked up, and another person who needs to be locked up is the ref that ejected Luka this past Tuesday. Yeah. What's good with these guys that are not basketball players thinking that they are bigger than the game? I'm going to just call them out real quick. I know there's been a lot of, these players are taking nights off. There's scrutiny on the load management and all that stuff. Players not putting in effort. They're just proving once again, regardless of what they do, they are the star. Like, follow the stars. Yes. And when we got guys like Luka getting ejected, when the 1 versus the 2 seed is playing, and the Thunder don't care about that W. Like, if it's not with Luka, you really didn't prove nothing. You gotta have Luka, LeBron on the court to act like to know you can beat this team. Yeah. So as a Thunder fan, I don't feel like that was significant. And to throw a guy out because you thought he did something. Yeah. I seen a lot of people be like, "Well, I mean, it's easy to interpret." Bro, no.
You got to get that call right. And the thing is, you can blow your whistle, call tech, and then like you can still right then and there be like, the other ref, you can huddle with the refs and just like reverse it. Like you don't have to. But it might have been a pride thing. He made the call and just had to follow through with it. But
he gave him the first take actually.
Yeah. So it just and it wasn't like he was in the ref's face either.
Yeah.
He's talking to.
And anyone who knows Luka and has watched Luka. His go-to, it's almost his signature. He talks to one of the fans in the front row. Yeah. After buckets.
He feed off that negativity.
Yes, he winks at him. He points at him after a step back. Like, that's Luka's thing. Like, he picks out someone in the front row who's talking to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's Luka's thing. So, honestly, I don't know if there's, like, hate or dislike of Luka from previous games, but as a ref, you go into each game, you have to wipe that clean.
Yeah. It felt personal.
Yes, and once again, when you're watching an NBA game, I don't know about you because I was watching this exact game and we were talking before halftime about the game. The moment Luka got ejected, I turned it off.
Oh, like, yeah. I mean, I watched it.
I literally turned it off because it's like, at first I was like, okay, this is going to help me make my take on who's going to come out the West. And now that Luka's gone, it's like, okay, there's no point. This is not the Lakers
You don't get good regular season games often.
Yeah.
And you get a 1 versus 2 where, once again, neither one of those teams had to bring their guys in play. Their seeds are pretty much locked up. Yeah. And they did. They did in a league where, once again, load management is criticized. And they brought their guys and they played, and you eject the guy because you were butthurt. That's crazy. Yeah. I also got a question for y'all. What is y'all conference again? What's the name of y'all conference?
Conference Carolina.
What's the biggest problem? And if I need to edit this out, I will. Yeah. What do you think the biggest problem with the Conference Carolina referees are?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Because I'm not going to lie, like, me playing, I'm not really a feed into the refs kind of guy. Because it's like, ref, you made a call? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
like,
I've always been like, I can't argue it.
Yeah, of course there's sometimes those calls you be like, oh, but then it's like, okay, we back to it. But, I can say this. For Pembroke, they're not watching any loose ball fouls, they're not giving.
They don't care about it,
because they know Pembroke is crashing the glass every time. 5 people, and they can't watch 5 people at one time. Yeah. So all those push under the basket so they can get offensive rebound, they're not calling that. None of those are getting called. Yeah. But also that could really happen at any time because it's like teams who set the tone. That's kind of how
the more aggressive teams.
That's how the refs are gonna call the game.
Yeah.
So if one team jumps out and punches them in the mouth, then the ref is probably gonna let him play.
And honestly, like, I hate to be that guy and spoil fun because I was a Houston fan during the playoff run. I was so fast. Like, I love that they beat Duke. It made my day. But that's not how basketball was designed to be played. I hate to be that guy. That is not how basketball is designed to be played. And it's almost the mindset of like, if I foul every time, the refs can't call it
Yeah.
every single time. Like, and that's really what it is with certain teams. Like, they foul almost every possession, but you can't call it because it's like we would literally be here till the end of the night and every single player be fouled out. Like, the ref's not really doing that.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that. That's where college basketball is going in a weird way, though.
No,
Because-
I love the grittiness of Houston. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Like, but once again, like I said, with Conference Carolinas, though, just from I think, and this honestly doesn't really have to go with Conference Carolinas, but I see a lot of refs at any level, they get caught up with the momentum of the game.
Yeah.
As in, for instance, let's say like my team come down, we're down 8. I come down, hit 2 threes. Like, it's almost like because of the momentum of the game, like I feel like I'm bound to get that next call due to just the momentum of the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And another thing, I feel like, once again, we've talked about this in college basketball. Sometimes the foul count doesn't tell the full story.
No.
So sometimes there's this notion of you got to even up the foul count. You got to even up the foul count. But if I'm shooting straight jump shots, then the other team is getting straight downhill to the rim. Why do I even up? How do I even up the foul
national
count?
championship was a perfect example of that.
Yes.
The second half started.
They had like 7
No,
fouls.
they
6 fouls
in the first
at
2
17 minutes, like 15 minutes.
No, both teams were in the bonus with 14 to go.
And
Or
then-
13
because-
something.
and the problem with that is
Florida started like 7-1.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
at
bad.
17 minutes.
And
left.
they felt like they had to catch them up. And by
Yes.
that time, the refs are just not. They're trying to make it a catch-up game rather than just calling the game.
Exactly. And then, on a different token, I don't know if I've talked to Nigel about this. I've definitely talked to you about this. Refs almost, I don't know what it is. They will call, and it sometimes hurt players who are in literal foul trouble.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll just make a touch call foul because they're trying to get to the media. So let's say first 4 minutes is over. It's like, all right, we're really looking to blow the whistle now. Like, that's what it gives. Because, like, there's certain calls. Like, I watched the national championship game against Florida. There was, like, a foul on, like, a rebound.
Yeah.
But it was time for the media, so they just blow the whistle. So
No, I'm not gonna lie. The
then they
first time
went
you told me
double
that, I
digit.
tuned in. Like, y'all really, I hope we start paying attention to that next year in college basketball. That's a real thing. Like, people, they will call touch fouls. Usually you calling shooting fouls and maybe charge. No, they are calling a foul on a rebound. Well, like, what are we?
dribble up the court, you pumping with your body barely. Oh, let's go to the
Gotta go
media. Like,
cut out what I said about Pembroke.
but yeah, I think, honestly, it's not really a Conference Carolina thing. I think it's really just referees get caught up with certain times the momentum, or like I said, they just trying to get to a media sometimes.
So listen to this, Phenom. When Gav is reffing in the backcourt to make sure he's not getting caught up in the momentum, make sure he's not giving out any unwanted texts. We can't be throwing out the top 2020.
Yeah, no.
2033.
Yeah, 2033. We can't be getting the number 1 player in 2023 tossed
old
out
as
of
hell,
games
bro.
in Rock Hill.
Oh my goodness.
None
You know
of
what's
that.
crazy? Like, I didn't even know. I guess this is like for safety, but like, let's say, and this happened on my court. Let's say I'm the ref and I want to kick a fan out the game or a player.
Yeah.
Like, they got to go. Like, the officer who is on duty has to honor what I say, not the person who's running the tournament.
Oh, word?
Yeah, so like,
So
for
you got
instance,
pulled.
I was just working the clock, and the ref was like, yeah, that fan's got to go. Kick him out.
Is that
And
technically how it is in the NBA too?
I don't know. That's
Because the reason Adam Silver should have made that call last Tuesday if that was the case. So it might be like that.
Because, like I said, the ref on my court wanted a fan gone. I'm not gonna lie, the fan didn't do anything. And then basically one of the Lewises walked up and was just like, hey, can we like just put him in a different area or something? Like, trying to work with, so the fan didn't have to leave. He just paid $40 to get in the gym.
Yeah.
So, and the officer like was like, I have to
Take him out.
I have to listen to the ref. And like, that was crazy to me. I'm like, dang, he runs the tournament. He has no say in this. But yeah,
You got speed questions?
I don't.
All right,
Do we need them?
No, I don't think we got
I was about to say we good, right?
Yeah, we good.
We got a lot of clips from this.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Good amount.
LeBron's a faggot.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Of course.
It's an honor.
I appreciate
Like,
y'all
comment,
for real.
subscribe.
You made it.
Peace out.